I'm Jenny with Roots and Wings Furniture, and today we're going to talk about the ABCs of General Finishes milk paint. Are you ready? Let's do this. If you followed me for any length of time, you might know that my go-to paint is General Finishes milk paint. I've been using it now probably about 5 years, almost exclusively, because I love the finish that it gives. But I thought it was only fair that we compare it like we have the other paints using our rubric and the ABCs that we've been going over. So I wanted to do that here. I'm going to try to pretend it's not my favorite paint, and we're going to review it just like all the other paints that we've done. I am going to use Driftwood, which is a really nice medium gray. I've tried to kind of pick middle of the road colors for all the paints that we've done so far, just so we can get a pretty even test of their coverage and how they do on a piece. So that's what we're going to use today. Again, this is General Finishes milk paint. Now, unlike Miss Mustard Seed milk paint that we mixed ourselves, this milk paint is actually acrylic. So it comes pre-mixed in a can, just like this. It's nice that you don't have to mix it like that, but it's not truly a milk paint. There's no milk protein in it. It is the acrylic, which does have some great properties to it as well. So that's what we're gonna get started with. Let's talk about application first. I am trying a new paintbrush today. This is from Zebra paintbrushes. They have an amazing line of brushes. It's a little bit newer. They're newer to the market. And you guys, I thought that nothing could get better than, like, how do you improve on a paintbrush? Until I opened one of these. This is the 2-inch chiseled wedge. It is the softest bristle I've ever felt on a paintbrush. So I can't wait to get in and really try this out. It's got the nice contoured handle that fits really nice in your hand. And it's not too long here. So you can still get in all the little detailed places if you're working on a piece of furniture. They have all different kinds of shapes to their new line of brushes. There's circle brushes, there's one that's a triangle. So they really have some really nice brushes and some nice detail brushes that would work on any kind of piece. So I can't wait to give this a try. I'm pretty excited about it. Let's talk about surface prep. So before we get started on a piece, what I like to do, we've got another cabinet door here. And I like to give it a light sanding. This is just a scuff sanding with 220 grit sandpaper. This just ensures that the paint will stick, especially if your piece is really smooth. So that's what we're gonna do here. This door is pretty flat. Let's sand it down. Okay, a whole piece of furniture really only takes 5 or 10 minutes. It's not a big deal. We're not sanding down to raw wood. We're just scuffing up whatever finish is there. Now, I like to use a mix of denatured alcohol and water. Mix it in a spray bottle. The nice thing about denatured alcohol, it cleans without leaving any soap residue. And the alcohol portion of it evaporates pretty quickly. So it doesn't leave your piece really wet. It evaporates nice and fast, and it gives you a nice clean surface. Just wipe it off. All right. Let's talk about consistency. So I'm gonna stir up the paint here. It's a nice thick paint. Nice and smooth, but nice and thick. And you can see that in the can, as well as we'll do that when we get on the piece here. I like to give it a shake, give it a stir, just make sure that the color is well mixed in the can. And let's see how we do. Ooh, this brush is nice. It holds a lot of paint, I can tell that already. I like how this is going on here. Okay, the paint is really smooth. It is nice and thick, so the coverage is good. I can tell you from experience, since I've used all of the colors of milk paint, that this driftwood color has the best coverage of any of the colors. For some reason, it's just, I don't know if it's because the medium tone gray or what, but it just covers better than any of the other colors. Every once in a while, I can get away with one coat coverage. Even this out. And it's sticking really well to the piece. No funny spots, nothing weird happening. All right, looks good so far. So I'm gonna let this dry real quick, and then we will be back to talk about what it looks like when it's dry. All right, the piece is dry, so let's talk about coverage and the consistency. So this is where my heart is, because the consistency of this paint on a piece is just my favorite. It's really super smooth. It's almost an eggshell finish without adding any top coat or anything. So it gives a really nice, smooth, professional finish. I love the brush and how it turned out. Minimal brush strokes, just hardly any. So that helped again with the smoothness of it. So use a nice quality synthetic brush, and that will really help your coverage and help how your paint goes on. As for coverage, this did really well. Like I told you, driftwood is the best color for coverage. Most of their colors will need 2 coats. And some of the lighter colors, you might have to do 3. If you're covering dark wood with white, you're definitely going to need at least 3 coats. So it's not a 1 coat paint. But the nice thing is a top coat is not required. So when we talk about durability, it's really durable on its own. Even a scratch test here doesn't do anything. And unless you want to increase the durability or give it more of a shine, you don't need a top coat. So I usually don't top coat the General Finishes milk paint. Sometimes if I'm using a darker color like the black, coastal blue, I will use a top coat just to increase the shine and help it. It stays cleaner looking. It doesn't show dust and fingerprints as much. So some of those darker colors, I do use a top coat, but again, it's still not required. So those are some nice things about this for sure. As for colors, lots of colors to pick from. You can see them here. I have the bigger samples of all of their colors. Classic colors, they are mixable, so you can really get a wide variety of colors. And I think they are all, like I say, really classic. In a room, if you've got a few painted pieces and you've got a few different colors going on, really any of the colors work well together because it's got the nice classic base. So really nice color choices here. So that's about it for General Finishes milk paint. It's still one of my go-to paints, and again, it's mostly for the finish. I love that smooth finish on a piece. If you like more of a chalky finish or more texture, this might not be the paint for you, but that's what I go to because I just really like the smoothness that it gives on a finished piece. So thank you so much for joining me for the ABCs of General Finishes milk paint. We will see you next time. Don't forget to check out my website, rootsandwingsfurniture.com, for more painting tips and tricks and DIY. Also, subscribe to this channel so that you won't miss a thing. Click the button below.